Okay, all right, guys. We just got done with our first scrimmage. It was really good information from a coach's standpoint. We started out with some live field goal block. I got some good information there. We went 3 live reps of punt return. We're in the evaluation mode too. We're trying to figure out who's ready, who needs more work, start putting the piece of the puzzle, special teams. I thought that was a really good session. And then we just kind of went old school. We went to 100 play scrimmage. We put the ball at the 25-yard line. We rotated 3 groups almost equally. Had right at 100 plays overall. We had a little bit more run than pass. That was by design, and who can block, who can tackle, who can hold on to the ball. It was really good information. The defense had a very good day. They were flying around, playing with great energy. Defensive line really stood out to me. Just did a super job with that. But overall, first scrimmage, it was good for us to kind of learn more about our guys. Put the ball on the ground. Put the ball out there and get on the sideline and see how our guys respond to adversity, success. And then we'll gather a lot of information from this scrimmage so we can start kind of narrowing things down. Now, we won't completely get all our ducks in the line until the second scrimmage, but today was really good. Like I said, I'm looking at body language, how we deal with success, how we deal with adversity, those little things, so we can learn more about our team, as a group, as individuals, before we get to the first game with Boise. Questions?
Coach, you just said the defensive line kind of stood out to you, and that was a unit that had some issues last year, but you've added some pieces here this offseason. Clea Davis is obviously back, some transfers. Just what have you seen from that group in the first week?
Yeah, we got depth. I think that's what stands out to me. We got two groups that, I think really did a good job holding the run gaps today. I thought they did a good job rushing the passer. Our quarterbacks weren't live, so that's a little bit tough sometimes, when to blow the whistle, when not. But I thought they were very active, really the first 2 groups.
You mentioned the quarterbacks weren't live, but how did Dylan Gabriel look in the first scrimmage with ball camp?
Yeah, he did some good things. We're trying to put the pieces to the puzzle around him. This first scrimmage, we were really trying to work on the run a little bit more in the pass. In the second part of the scrimmage, we let him do his thing, and I think he led for a couple touchdown drives right there in the second half of the scrimmage. But he's doing a good job. Like I said, we're just trying to get the pieces of the puzzle around him and try to be as specific as we can. And today was a really good day to learn a lot too.
You mentioned Dylan, but how important is it to identify a backup for him going into the season?
Yeah, that's part of the equation too, that we're trying to get that figured out by the time we get done with the second scrimmage this time next week. And we're hoping to have that kind of order as far as our quarterback room is with the 2 and 3 and 4. And Coach Kenny right now is giving them all equal reps and trying to put them in situations that we can learn more about them.
You talked about wanting to see who you could count on as one of your preseason goals. How is that process developing? What are you seeing?
Yeah, in a scrimmage like this, you find out probably more than you do all of the bump tempo, tracking tempo, everybody staying up. It's real football. And the coaches aren't out there to tell them what to do every time and see how they respond when the coaches are on the sideline. So I think that's really good for us. I'm looking at a lot of different things, but the film will be good for us to go in and kind of dissect and really look at the details of each individual.
Coach, how have the running backs looked, and has anybody stood out to you?
We gave, I think we had equal carries for the most part, and that was by design too. Really what I'm looking for the first scrimmage, who will hold on the ball, and I think we did a good job of the running backs holding on the ball. Also looking to see who can break tackles. But the guys got equal reps today. They'll do the same thing the second scrimmage, and then we'll start, narrowing that thing down pretty quick too.
Coach, I know there's an opportunity for wide receivers to emerge. I know there's a couple guys with more experience. There's some newcomers in that mix. What have you seen from that group so far?
You're exactly right. We've got a lot of guys in a territory that just seeing who the cream's going to rise to the top, who that is. And so we're evaluating that on a daily basis for the guys that we feel like we can put in with that first group and execute what we need them to execute on a consistent level. That's probably the biggest thing, is just getting consistent with our young and inexperienced receivers.
Hey guys in the back, just what have you seen that's impressed you the most in this first ball game?
I really think our attitude overall, just as a football team, we just talked about getting a little bit better each day, and I really feel like we've done that up to this point. And that's being coachable. That's great body language. That's attention to detail. Our coaches just challenging each individual player, find one thing you can improve on, and so far our guys have done that. But like I said, today's a completely different deal from the standpoint that was real football, and that's when you really find out big picture about your groups.
Coach, I've heard coaches say before, as a head coach, you never win a scrimmage, you never win an inter squad. So you, as an offensive mind, and saying that the defense had a really good day, where does this put you now moving forward? My experience is, scrimmages, there's very rarely that it's a tie. One group wins or one, and I just think the transparency, that's who won today. Now, you challenge the offense, all right, second scrimmage, you need to come out and play. So that's part of it, and that's part of competing, man. I want our guys to compete when we put the ball down, and let's see who the best is. And I think, really, honestly, if I can remove myself from the offense, that's probably a really good thing for our team. The fact that our defense is playing pretty good football right now. I know we need to continue to grow, but I thought that was a pretty good thing, especially up front.
From a strength and conditioning standpoint, how are you seeing Coach Dawson's program working with the players?
Yeah, you can tell a huge difference from the spring to right now. Just the strength, the quickness, and the running factor, which we do a lot of running, which is super, and just that consistency, and you can tell a big difference right now.
You guys added 2 transfers at the defensive back, Jarvis Ware and Marco DeMio. How have those 2 looked, and how's that position unit coming along?
Yeah, first of all, you can tell both those guys are kind of veteran, experienced guys. We lost, 3 guys in the NFL in the back end. So those guys added to the young guys we had in the spring. I think it's been a really good compliment. In this league, you can't have enough DBs, and so that's been very encouraging so far.
You talk about offensively. How long does it take to put in the system? When do you guys will have it fully put in, and when do you think you'll be playing at 6?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we've accelerated our installs. We tried to install a lot and just make sure we got our base thing so we can evaluate, and then slowly kind of condense it back down and kind of repeat what we've already installed. So that's why this next 7 days will be real critical, that we actually get better on the things that we've installed and the execution. The thing about offense is, for a play to work properly, it takes all 11, and if you have 9 that are doing it perfect and 2 that aren't, it makes the whole thing kind of messy. And that's a great thing about offense and execution. That's why the next 7 days is real critical to get all 11 executed.
Coach, I know on the offensive line you bring back 4 guys who have started. I know those guys still got to earn their position this camp, but are there some battles at that on the line? I know left tackle may be up in the air. What are you kind of seeing there?
Yeah. There's a couple things. Herb has, at this point, he's rotated, I think, about 7 or 8 guys with the first group, and just trying to give guys opportunities. The good thing is we have experience. I think that's really what stands out to me. In the course of a season, that's very critical, because adjustments, and what we're trying to learn is our strengths. Like, what are we good at run game? Which side do we want to run behind? Pass protection, who needs help? Who can handle one-on-ones? And so it's probably more of that big picture right now. Things will narrow down after the scrimmage. I'll be able to answer that a lot better this time next week.
Well, Coach, if I could just pivot to Bobby Bowden, I read your tweet on Sunday. Just wondering what your thoughts are on the man and then I follow.
Yeah, I tell you, you look back at guys that have influence, and I was a young coach, and I was trying to model myself after, first of all, a Christian coach, and a guy that did things right, that was well respected, and Coach and Tom Osborne. There's the 2 guys, Coach Bowden, Coach Osborne, the 2 guys that I'd love to be like them someday. So I just think about the impact he made on me, just trying to model him. And then I got a chance, when I won the Bowden Award, got a chance to meet him. That was one of the big, really thrills of me in my coaching career. Have a chance to spend time with him at that event, and just he's got that presence about him, and just the impact he's made, not just on college football, but just on coaches. That's the big thing about coaches, and specifically young coaches need older coaches that are models of what character looks like, what professionalism looks like. And then, of course, the ones that, you know, are Christian coaches, you know, the ones of men of faith like he was, and he lived it. And so, you know, I just think that was, you know, he's a special man, and like I said, he made a great influence, you know, on the whole college football world and the whole college coaching world.
There's a story that in the 80s when UCF football had been in some financial struggles, because of his relationship with Jane McDowell, he had donated Florida State's leftover equipment to UCF. Have you heard that story?
You know, I actually heard it this week, the first time. Of course, that doesn't surprise me, but you can tell the older people that have been around here just, you know, the respect they have for him, the appreciation they have for him, you know, because of that.
The announcement that the Hula Bowl will be coming to UCF in 2022, how do you think that impacts your program?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great for a lot of different ways. It's great for recruiting, brings a lot of attention on campus. Terry's done a super job just trying to raise our profile nationally, and I think that's just one of the pieces of the puzzle doing that.
I know camp's obviously an everyday process, long days. How important is it to kind of break up that monotony? We saw you had like a movie night the other night, just kind of, you know, scheduling activities for the players other than football.
Yeah, you have the off nights and all that, and we're doing some team building segments with our coaches, and then just, you know, being able to relax and enjoy a movie together. We're still in the process of getting to know our players or getting to know us. I'm real big on the player-coach getting to know each other as individual people, not coach-player, and that's just part of what we're trying to do right now.
I guess more to the weekend fall camp, how's the overall health of the team as that kind of stood out to you?
Yeah, that's a positive right now. I mean, we didn't have any kind of major injuries. We got a couple banged up, but that's part of it. But so far so good as far as no major injuries, how physical we've been.
Coach, the preseason poll came out yesterday. You know, kids these days look at that stuff. Over the years, what's your philosophy been on that narrative?
Yeah, you know, I mean, preseason is always people's opinion. You know, the only thing that matters, whether it's individual awards, what I tell our guys, individual awards, team awards, all that, I mean, all that plays itself out. And, you know, if you're not happy with whatever, use as motivation, but I don't make too big a deal of it.
Coach, obviously big scrimmage today. I know you said you got another one next Wednesday. What's kind of the focus from now until that second scrimmage?
Yeah, it's kind of repeating our installs. You know, trying to get as specific as we can, start putting ourselves in some game type situations that you need to go over in fall camp before you get to the season. So, you know, the two minute situations will be tomorrow. And then we'll have some more red zone, some more third down work. And that'll be part of it.
Thanks.
Okay, anything else?
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you all.